Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfszeit channel. Today with a very special topic, always special. The Sarducaa PTR questionnaire is open. So Starboard is asking actively for feedback and the link to that feedback form is down in the description. At first there are some of the default questions and then how do you like Sarducaa and if lockpicking is a good addition to the game and stuff like that. But additionally to that feedback form, there's additional feedback of course. And since there are new territories, there will be territory control. What many in the community are saying that not many territory control sieges are happening and not many stuff there is happening because the ratio seems a little bit off. But all in all, the PTR was a lot of fun, the performance was good, the ping normalization is okay, and the desert just looks good. The visual effects Starboard did there are great, the city is looking good, we're having a few more creatures, sometimes the Akrabs forget to attack, but this is a minor bug. So overall it was a solid experience, so please fill that out for Starboard. So now I also have additional feedback. I have seen a video from a demo man, he made a scale from destruction rate in Mortal from least to most rust, and I think a very good middle ground would be something like that. Please let me explain. So the optimal scenario for a guild is like you're searching for a home, you build there and your friends are playing there and you're playing there for your daily lives and you are really attached to the place. I can really tell you from experience, you move in real life to another city and you're logging in. The first thing you do in your new flat is like building up your PC, loading into Mortal, being in the town wherever your home is. For some it's Meduli, Tinril, Farbenum, whatever. And I was seeing that and I was home. And the thing is, many people have that attachment to their territorial control structures. So it's a little bit better when you don't do it like Rust, when you do it a little bit more conservative. But of course, sieging should be a little bit less expensive. That more and more sieges can happen, not because of pure grief or of pure hate, but it's a mechanic that should be used a little bit more, especially for keeps and for other structures. Because every time when something like that is happening, like a guild is getting sieged, there are plans, there are stuff happening in the background, everyone is happy, then you're sieging the place or whatever, and on the next day, the same thing is there again. With the guy beside that, laughing like, haha, you paid more than I paid for building that, haha. And a lot of people in the community want that changed. And this is a valid point, because sieges are a lot of fun. If you attack or defend, it doesn't matter, it's just action on the server, it's just action somewhere. And often there are a lot of guilds involved or alliances involved, and then it's even funnier. There are also some concerns of the community. What if a big guild steamrolls over the map? What if some alliance decides to siege one guild with no breaks to their complete extinction? And again, this point is very debatable, and I hope that Starwood will also implement that into their feedback form in the next one at least. And another additional feedback to the reputation system, because here on the test server it was so awesome that we had low budget graveyard PvP with our starting gear and with very low gear and stuff, and there were like five versus 5 people and more. And what a lot of people in the community enjoyed were the PvP right outside the gates. It sounds so simple, but the Mortal principle also works without special moves. It also works without any additional info systems, whatever. There are just people with random shit gear and just making PvP and having a great time. Like, these 5 people are like, this is our graveyard, and the other people are like, no, that's not your graveyard, and stuff like that. And it's just a Mortal principle in a small scale, but it's so good. So a lot of people in the community say the reputation system needs a little bit changed. A few years back, a lot of people complained that there is no real penalty for a murderer or an outlaw that is just killing the noobs at the graveyard or near graveyard or near town and stuff like that. So this is why the reputation is how it is now. The interesting thing is, in the first game, you also lost stats like strength, dex and stuff like that. And this didn't stop people, because the murder count was okay to make PvP near a town, to make PvP at a graveyard, to make PvP near some guilds or going to the neighbor city and making stuff there. And for the PvP, it's great that you can have more PvP, that you can engage more with the people. But when the murder penalty is too easy, then a lot of people will complain again that murderers didn't get a penalty, and stuff like that. So it's a double-edged sword. whatever gets patched there. I can just give you my personal opinion. I personally think that the reputation system is a little bit of an over-nerf. They give you too much reputation loss for forcing PvP on people. But again, it's highly debatable because there are pros and cons for that. And I've experienced through the first game and a lot of changes, and to the second game and a lot of changes, a lot of these systems. And what I see often that many people don't get Mortal Online. So many people are playing this game and thinking, oh, it's like any other game. No, it's not. It's not. It's Mortal. It's completely different. For playing such a game, you need to be different than all the other people. I give you a good example. There are many new players. There are many new players in Haven and coming out of Haven, and they're often going out in the real world and they don't know what to do. So most are going to the graveyard or making the first quests or doing the bandit camps or whatever stuff. So you're going to the graveyard, you're going to whatever farming there, you're new to the game. The problem is these people coming from other games expecting a normal treatment like in many other games. But this is Mortal Online, and Mortal Online is directly into your face. In bigger dungeons it's the same, but for example, the new player has some options. I've experienced so many people. Everyone who's a recruiter at a guild or something doesn't exactly know what I'm talking about. There are people coming from so many different games, so many different perspectives, and they expect different stuff. And for Mortal, I've experienced a lot of people who were just complaining, why is he killing me always at the graveyard, blah, 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 blah. As a new player, you're having a few options. You can go farm somewhere else. You can group up with your friends. You can learn how to get better. You can group up with the town people and fight back or not. And some are also quitting the game at that stage. But you have always the option to fight back because it's a sandbox PvP game. And slaughter them. I've also did that in Mortal Online 1, where Huntsman was terrorizing Fabernum and the Gutter Snipes and all the other people are terrorizing Fabernum, and I was like, okay, what can we do? And we did. But the new player often doesn't know that. He doesn't know that how to defend themselves, and he doesn't know that conflicts in Mortal are long. And that Mortal Online 2 is a very social game. It's a very social game. It's not meant for making solo your whole life. And when there are groups of other people who are doing stuff and you don't like that, you can also have friends, you know. And even when someone is farming at the graveyard or someone is terrorizing new players or whatever, you can be the guy who brings the bill to these players. And there are people who are made for Mortal and there are people that are not made for Mortal. I mean, this is an endless discussion because this has also something to do with people complaining about content gatekeeping. I totally get it. I also don't like that when content is gatekeeped. Like multiple dungeon entrances and exits would solve such a problem. But I know that some don't want to hear that, but it's a sandbox PvP game. Complaining about PvP or sandbox mechanics in a PvP sandbox game is like, I don't know what I should say about that. But yeah, if some mechanics are tweaked a little bit, I guess more stuff will happen. I don't know what your view on Mortal is, but Mortal is a very tough game, it's a very hard game, and it's a very social game. And that makes Mortal so unique. It's so unique on the market. Look at the market. When I look at the current games market, sometimes I can't even eat so much as I could puke. I'm not saying, oh, we should prioritize PvP and murder everyone, should murder everyone everywhere. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. And whoever is now typing that in the comments, you know nothing, Jon Snow, you know nothing. Okay, other suggestion was the safe sector system like from Eve. I explained that in another video. I've also linked that in the description if you're interested. But there are many ways to toggle that. You can have more security or less security. You can have more PvP near town or less PvP near town. I hope that Starbolt will ask us again about the PvP aggressive flag like they did the last time. But we will see. We will see. But all in all, it was a great PTR and I'm really looking forward for Sarducaa. I have so many awesome memories about Sarducaa from the first game and it looks so good now in Mortal Online 2 with the Unreal Engine and it's awesome. But anyway, if you want to know more about the Sarducaa lore or about the Mortal Online 2 lore in general or many other stuff you need to help with extraction videos or whatever, look at the channel, look at the description. So we are a little bit closer to the release. If you don't want to miss any future news, videos or content related to Mortal Online 2, please consider subscribing. Leave a like and a comment would be so awesome. And please share this video with your friends. So special thanks to all of these supporters, of course, on Patreon and on YouTube. Carmel, Ronus, Taurus, Diesel, Mip, Skipper and Ian. Never forget to make party hard and see you all next time. Goodbye.